The Ness Connected Labs team wanted to put out a thought piece and a real demo to bring to life our approach to microservices, because at Ness we've been expert for many years in this area, and we're helping many large enterprises convert or decompose large, complex, monolithic infrastructures into one which uses microservices to gain agility, flexibility, scalability, and help deploy updates to a production environment seamlessly. But that only happens where there's a solid, well thought through plan devised and implemented, because if you introduce too many new services, you could find yourself wondering if the new headaches you've introduced have been worth it. Traditional monolithic architecture here, worth remembering that the characteristics of it usually made a lot of sense when the new product was designed and the organization was structured, and before it grew to the point that it's now slow and hard to update. At one point, this set of features were tightly coupled and depended on each other and used a single database there in the grey that helped get everything built and get the job done quickly. But over time, it grew more complicated. It proved itself useful, but then tactical features were added on without too much thought and planning. Nowadays, everyone has to be careful not to break it when planning a release, and release cycles tend to get stretched. So then we move into the Microsoft comparison architecture, which you see is different and distinct, much more flexible because we set about having a prioritized decomposition of the monolith. We can do it carefully over a period of time and leave the production environment up and running in the hands of a dedicated platform team. Now each feature is independent of the others and is owned by individual teams, each with its own infrastructure with lightweight API-based communication. Independent is the key here. Each one is a container which can be isolated, improved, and redeployed with minimum integration fuss, so that updates can be performed in minutes and hours rather than weeks and months. And that's what we want to show you in this film. A quick summary before we do our demo of the business case and the core benefits of microservices. Each one of these here promotes the concept of user first, not technology first, which is something Ness believes in. Microservices is a journey which supports both an agile and a DevOps culture along a product roadmap with continuous integration. It improves the ease of deployment there. It's decentralized, so there's much more speed and independence. It makes it much easier to find and isolate failures, which make it easier to trace, roll back, fix, and then redeploy. Everything about this is set up for a culture of automation and further operational efficiency. So let's move into the demo to show you our use case. What we've got here now is an introduction to someone signing up for an account with Wings. This is going to be Jack, and I'm going to hit play and you'll see what he gets up to. So Jack is joining Wings using our enrollment microservices, filling his details in at really high speed because we don't want you to have to wait. All of the regular details that you do, so we've got him stored on our database. We'd actually get him to store a password in a separate microservice here. But this is him, and this is him agreeing right at the end there to our sign up of our email notifications and our T's and C's. Here he is at some later point logging in with his email address that we've stored and the password we stored. We run a validation test that password matches what we have against him before we let him in so that he can see his account balance, which is what's coming here. So the login service goes, right. Collection, login, and booking. Initially, he gets a 500 points bonus. You can't see the screen right now. I'm going to have to fix this, but that's where he starts without having booked a flight before, and he has some personalized offerings. The login, we know that's all his details. We've repeated ourselves a bit. We're going to shut that down and make that faster, but this is what he sees when he gets in before he's done anything. Right, we're going to do something now. We're going to book a flight from Chicago O'Hare to Los Angeles on this day and this date for one user. We're going to use our booking microservice to quickly show you the options, the flights and points you get, and the cost of them. We booked a flight, now it's done, and the points that I added were 387 as I recall, and now immediately added to our collection microservices, and our booking history shows right there and there that that flight has now been added to my account history. So Jack happily has seen that his account is adding up. So here we want to show you how independent microservices mean that when something goes down or is taken offline, it doesn't mean the whole site goes down. There's much more resilience created by the adoption of microservices. In this part of the demo, we have a returning visitor, Peter. He logs in and he can access his dashboard to show the points he has available, and he can search for flights because all those microservices are working fine. It's only when he gets to the actual booking of the flight that he finds out that the booking microservice is down for some reason. The website here offers him some encouraging words to try again in a few minutes. He can do something else on the site or come back when we will have had time to fix it. Now we're going to show you how easy it is to update 500 joining points to 2,500, as you can see there. We've taken the 500 down, replaced it with 2,500. In our ultra flexible microservice, we publish a new build. Wait till this build has been successfully completed. Build success. So now we have our second release candidate. We have the opportunities, as we'll show you here, to either stick with the 500 points, which is release 1, or we could deploy release 2, which, as we saw, is a 2,500. This might be something we do for a holiday season. Deploy it here, deployed successfully, and now everyone that logs in gets a 2,500 point joining bonus, which, as I say, might be appropriate for a particular season. When we log in as a new user, let's say Helen Burns here, username and password for Helen, she sees when she logs in not a £500 bonus, but a 2,500 points bonus. That's how easy it is and flexible to do microservices. Thank you very much.